So I've just seen the 4th episode of Series 12 and yeah, I thought it was really good. A big improvement over Orphan 55. I know a lot of people like that episode, but for me it just felt like a slip back to Series 11 where the villain wasn't so great and Yaz was just not doing that much. But this episode felt like we're back to Series 12, which is great. So I'm going to start about talking about the characters. So the Doctor, she was easily, in my opinion, the best part of this episode. I thought Jodie did a great job in this story. I really liked her. I liked her in the scenes in particular between her and Nikola Tesla. I thought it was great when they were talking about being inventors and all that. I thought they were really nice scenes. And we obviously got to see a bit of a darker 13th Doctor, in my opinion, this week when she was in, obviously at the end, she killed the Queen and her species off. That was something that obviously showed a darker side to her Doctor. And she did explain why she did it as well, that she just didn't see any good in the Queen. And yeah, she just killed her off because it's the darker Doctor, and it's nice to see the Doctor have that dark side now and again. But yeah, the Doctor was really good in this episode. She was very felt like the Doctor. She kind of took control, and I really do think this is possibly one of my favourite Jodie episodes we've had so far from her era. So yeah, I really did enjoy her in this episode. Moving on to Yaz, she was an improvement after last week. We got to see more of her. She had more solo scenes with Nikola Tesla when they were in the ship together. And yeah, Yaz was good in this episode. Wouldn't say perfect, still could have done a bit more, but yeah, she was an improvement. And Ryan and Graham were good as well, and particularly Graham. He had some confrontational scenes between him and Thomas Edison, and I found that quite funny. I laughed a few times. I found it really good throughout. So the main characters were all got a thumbs up from me in this episode. Moving on to the guest characters, so we obviously had Nikola Tesla. Sorry if I'm pronouncing names wrong, I'm really bad at it, I am sorry. But yeah, he was great in this episode. I didn't know much about him, so it was nice to know more about him, that he, basically the confrontation between himself and Thomas Edison was that Thomas had a factory and had workers and kind of didn't always have the ideas himself. He had workers come up with ideas and he made it reality, while with Nikola Tesla, he just came up with his own ideas. So it was nice to see their confrontation, and yeah, I thought Nikola was a really good character. I liked learning about him, that obviously that he had the first wireless type of energy, like he had, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was it, something to do with wireless energy, and he obviously had the tower and all that. Not 100%, need to rewatch it, but yeah, it was interesting getting to know about him because I didn't know anything, and I really did enjoy that, and I like that educational aspect of Doctor Who. Moving on to Thomas Edison, and yeah, I didn't know about the factory. I never knew he had workers, so again, it's great to have that educational. I know it's a bit debatable, but I like it to have that in Doctor Who and learn some new stuff. This episode did feel very similar to Rosa, and I did enjoy that. Now going to talk about the villain of the week, and they were an improvement after last week. My biggest problem with Series 11 was the villain, and that's why I was a bit disappointed after Orphan 55, but this episode felt like an improvement. We had the Sihekra Queen, I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry, but she was really good. You could obviously tell she was played by Rani from the Sarah Jane Adventures, but yeah, she was really good. She was, it was nice to see the scenes between her and the Doctor, especially at the end. They were really good scenes. And yeah, she was a really threatening villain, and so were the scorpion-looking creatures, who I think they're all the same species, I think. And yeah, they were really good. It's a nice plot as well, that they had this stolen technology and the ship wasn't working, so they wanted Nikola Tesla to help them because he responded to their message that they sent him, or they sent to Earth, or whatever it was. So yeah, they were really good villains, really good plot, especially when they did the whole transforming from a human to the scorpions, and they were using people to project themselves. It was really good to see that, and the CGI really was good in this episode, much better than the spiders in my opinion from Acronids in the UK from Series 11. So yeah, really good villains in the episode, really did like them. So overall, in my opinion, this was a really good episode of Doctor Who. Much better than Orphan 55. felt back to Series 12. It felt like we're back on a good run, and hopefully this will continue next week with the Judun episode. But for now, it was a really good episode. Felt like Rosa had a nice educational aspect, but you still had the sci-fi aspect there. And yeah, I'm going to rate this episode 4 stars out of 5. It was really good. Felt that we're back to a good go episodes, and hopefully that will continue next week. As always, guys, thanks for watching the video. Sorry this is a bit more of a quicker review. I felt like my last few ones have dragged on a bit longer, so I'm going to try to return to doing just like 6-7 minute reviews. That was what my first review of Series 12 was, and it got more likes, so I'm thinking maybe more doing quicker reviews rather than dragging it on. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back next week with the Judun episode. I luckily have next week off from work, so I can hopefully work on my review a bit more. Don't have to rush to get it out. But as always, guys, any feedback's appreciated, and I will see you all in the next video.